when Paul first came to Indiana, I want to know what you saw in him as a player, and did you ever envision him becoming the superstar he is today?
I saw nothing in Paul George. Paul George was 6'9", 175 pounds. On site, you see nothing in Paul George.
I think he was smaller.
He might be smaller.
What'd you say he was?
I got Paul George
little.
and Lance Stevenson, and I'm 30 years old, and I'm like, come on, man, like, bro, I'm a part of a rebuild project, and I got
my God.
Danny Granger, who's nuts, and all he want to do is score. So like, all right, cool. So these two young kids though, but first day of practice, I swung on Lance.
Yeah.
Off the break, and they implemented a $25,000 fine rule for any punch because Lance, we just competed, and Lance had never seen somebody play that hard defensively or deny him the ball. So his only thing was like just throw elbow in your face, and I swung, and he knew it wasn't a game anymore. So those two came in like not bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like we in the league, and they thought everything was sweet. And I'm 29 years old. I'm 29, 30 years old. Like, yo, like I got a family. Like these little young kids, they're gonna take off my plate.
Mm-hmm.
But we had the same agent at the time, and he was like, man, just take care of my guy. One thing that I did see in PG, and I can implement to my kids, and just even in my personal life, from the door, he would say, even at 6'9", 170 pounds, give me 3 years, I'm gonna be an NBA All-Star. I was like, bro, you got to gain like 40 pounds. You got to play like 40 pounds and you might have a shot. But he had in his mind, like he was doing things like that I never even thought of. He would show me highlights of himself working out and implementing stuff with Kobe on his laptop, that he would like place his laptop and be in the gym by himself and record himself doing dunks and the different stuff. And I was like, yo, how do you even, like, what are you doing? But his mind was already where he wanted to be. And that's where you find like successful people in life. Like no matter what you think you are, other people just don't see your vision, right? And he was saying he was going to be an all-star. Me personally, I had to change the way I talk to my kids, like even my son Tanner, PG, like, bro, it's not good enough to be an NBA player. Like you got to see yourself as the best to ever do it, or an all-star or whatever, because at that point in time, you start chasing it. And he was chasing that. No matter what the situation was, it wasn't primed for him to be an NBA All-Star in Indy. But his mindset and his work ethic helped him for when the time came, he was prepared. I can't exactly remember, but I remember the type of scenario it was. And it was either in a locker room or like in an arena sitting on the sideline. He had just took a major set of L's. Like we had just got done playing ones. He got destroyed. He was talking crazy before that. I'm going to get this one. And he was mad, like he was sweating mad in his feelings, and everybody talking. And after we get finished once, everybody talking crazy, like going over how it happened, and I just blanked you, and you got 5-0, and you can't guard me here, and I dunked on him, and they going over, and it was like it was at his low. So he was not saying this like just coming through the locker room, I'm gonna be All-Star one. No, he was getting destroyed, and he was like, you know what? All right, watch, and give me 3 years, I'm gonna be an All-Star. Give me 3 years. I may not be it right now, but give me 3 years. I'm gonna be off. Watch what I tell you. Yeah, all right. Watch what I tell you.
That's hilarious.
I remember we were in the locker room, and it was more than just the ones, right? Because you know how competitive the practices was. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think people in Indiana we practice. Like the league is a lot different now. Like you don't practice as much as you do as we did back then. So to take you back then, we practice. And our practice was like intense, where we talking shit, white squad, like yeah, like we was on that type shit, like we going against each other, like white squad winning today, like we talking before practice, and so it just wasn't my day, like we losing in team ball after we play ones, I'm losing, I'm getting my ass kicked, and you know they gonna carry that shit all the way to the locker room, so I'm hearing it in the locker room, like. We bust your ass today, like white squad. He Born, what we do today, Born?
And Born gonna take it way too far. Yeah. Like, oh man. So, but they had lost in the white squad in the middle of practice stuff, and he tried to like get a win again. Like, all right, let's play some ones because I'm gonna get a win somewhere. Yeah. And still didn't get the win. So he really doubled in his feelings, and he been getting killed the whole time too. So yeah, that's where
that team just had a team full of instigators. You gotta like forget about Juice. AJ Price was
AJ
one of the
Price.
biggest
Juice-
shit talkers
Juice is wild,
to this
too.
day, the biggest shit talker I've ever met.
Wow.
But so that's where it initiated. It got to a point where now I'm getting like sensitive. It's personal. All right, watch. I'm being all-star in 3
You got
years.
Solo
like,
in there.
yeah,
Solo's talking crazy.
He talking
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So we have
and then my dog B Shaw, B Shaw,
the worst.
B Rush.
The worst. No. B Shaw too was the worst of the worst too. But he wasn't there too.
Yeah, he wasn't there then.
But B Rush.
But B Rush was like my dog. Like I knew like if shit got worse, if I was backed up in a corner, I know like all right, B Rush is my dog. Like he gonna get me out of this. He even like, damn, bro, like
That's a lot.
killed out there, bro. You might get cut. Like it's like something like
damn,
that,
bro, like
Well, so you just mentioned about watching Paul early in his career. What is it like now watching him where he is today? Because I think most people kind of overlook how difficult it is to stay at that high level. You know, now he's been an all-star, what is it, 8 times? 7 times? 8 times? Like, talk about what you see now and how difficult that is to consistently be one of the best players in the NBA.
So I go from that right to I go from like leaving him literally in Indiana, and I go to like Dallas and Atlanta. I don't catch him until the playoffs with Cleveland.
mm-hmm.
So I don't see him again. Like the schedule didn't add up. My tenure, and he on fire. Like now he's beginning of Paul George, and I check in the game like on like a suicide mission. Like get him, Tay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And he like, yeah, like that. He got like 30. He like
this.
yeah, you remember
that
all
shit.
that? Yeah, no, for real. Like, and he was so hot that we were blitzing pin downs. I don't really see somebody like double off a pin down, and they throw me on Paul. Like you know him, right? Yeah, I know him, but like this ain't the Paul I know. Like so he had it in his mind. He didn't forget. I get to see him near, but at that point in time, he wasn't as strong as he is now. He still was like he's been evolving, skill wise, strength. So then you get a little physical, but he still was shooting the lights out. Then now we come now, and like now he's a grown man. He's strong. He's like 240. Not only is he under control, but he's still growing as a basketball player as we speak. And that's where you see like all-time numbers and efficiency, because now he's learning how to think the game. He has all the attributes. He has a strength now. He's seen all types of defenses. And now he's getting to like that Kobe part of feeling the game and reading the game rather than just being dominant, because like most people don't know that PG don't know how to not make a read because he's 6'9". If he decides he's gonna do something, you really can't stop it. Like he can jump, he's long, he can come over half court, like, I'm gonna go between legs cross in a 3. And even if you right there, he's 6'9", he could do it anyway. And it still could go in. So now he's feeling the game, feeling all like what his reads are, what defenses look like in a different way. So he's still evolving as a basketball player. So that's what I get to see as a coach.
Look, the NBA season is in full swing, and Prize Picks has you covered when it comes to helping you make some money.
Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app where you can select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and turn $25 into $250. Prize Picks is really simple to play, y'all. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds.
So be sure to visit prizepicks.com/podcastp and use our promo code podcastp for a first deposit match up to $100. And Jackie, what do we always say?
I think it's
Cha-ching!